Pearly Crochet. My name's Hannah. Today I want to share a Easter market recap. Yes, so I had two markets over the Easter weekend. I had one on Saturday and then one on the Sunday. I had a very lovely weekend. On the Saturday I had a stall with my auntie as well. Sorry, my dog is right here, so wants attention. And then on the Sunday it was me and mum my mum came along for just to help, as she always does. So yeah, so we had a lovely time. We had a lot of young girls come to the stall and want to either start crocheting or they themselves have been crocheting, and they were sort of inspired by what they could do. So that was really nice. That was a bit of an extra bonus to the weekend, but yes, it was lovely. So I thought I would tell everyone what I sold on the Saturday and then what I sold on the Sunday, and then give everyone a total. I did this weekend sell some items that I haven't had on my square, and I did put them down as like a custom amount on my square. So bear with me as I try to remember what I did sell. But I had Pouncer the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon. I made one of those, which I think was in my last video, and I sold that for, I think it was $85. And then I also had my two vessel from Sleep Token characters sell as well, and I sold one of those for $70 and one of them for $80. Yeah, a few miscellaneous things going on, but I'll try my best. So I had 3 custom items sell, which one of those was the dragon and one of those was vessel. I cannot remember the third thing, but all of that sold for $120 altogether. I sold one of my little no-sew bears for $15, one large dragon hatchling for $35, 2 small dragon hatchlings for $25 each. I sold my last big Loaf Cat for $30. And I sold my Shrek keyring for $15. I sold one large bee for $30, one small Valentine's bee for $10, one big rabbit plush for $15. I sold my last candy corn for $5. I sold a large cow for $30, which was discounted. It was one of the first cows I ever made, so I've had him for a very, very long time, for about 4 or 5 years, and it was just simply his head was too floppy, so I discounted him, and a little 3-year-old who was about the same size as the cow went home with that, and I made sure like that his family knew that it was floppy, and that's why it was at the cheaper bracket, and they were happy. It was just a teddy for their little toddler, so he was smitten with his little cow carrying it around the market, which was very sweet. I sold one mushy boy for $5. I sold Perry the platypus for $25. I sold one small rabbit plush for $10, and I sold both my rats for $15 each. My rats, I make them all the time, and I always think like no one will really like these, just me, and so I get worried that they won't sell, but every time I make them, the first market I'm at, they go. So there must be something with the cute little rats everyone loves. But yes, so it was nice to see both of them go. And I sold one of my Australian swinging animals as well for $15. And lastly, I sold one of my Gingerbread Men as well for $15. That's everything I sold from the first market on the Saturday. So All up, I got $540 from the first market on the Saturday. Then went home. I didn't crochet anymore that afternoon, but I just got ready for the following market. Let's get into what sold at the market on the Sunday, so Easter Sunday. It was a lovely market. It's a market by a charity. They raise funds for children and families that have been displaced or need money for medical care, etc. So a very nice charity to work with. And they put on an Easter egg hunt for the kids. So they laminated little Easter eggs with numbers on them, gave them to a few of us stall holders, and kids were sort of coming in and had to write our stall name down and then complete the card and then go back for an Easter egg. So it was very cute, but it meant I had a lot of people coming into my stall. So it was a very, very busy day, but a good day. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. I was lucky number 13 on my egg. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Let's get into what sold. So I had some people come into my stall and wanted my last sleeve token teddy, and sort of had a chat to them and said that it would be $80 because it was the green one from sort of the most recent era of the band. So there's a lot more color changes in, so that's why the price point went up a little bit from the black vessel. But yeah, so sold that for $80. I sold 5 of my baby Demagorgons for $15 each. I sold 2 turtles for $30 each, 2 small dragon hatchlings for $25 each, and I sold both my ghost face. So I sold Billy and Stu for $25 each. I noticed this weekend, and I was wondering why, that a lot of children from sort of like 7 to like 13, 14 knew Ghostface. And I was thinking, why? Not a lot of kids know those horror characters. So I was thinking, why? What is that? Why? What is happening? What is going on? And I realized halfway through the day on Sunday that Ghostface has just been released on Fortnite as a Fortnite skin. So I had a lot of kids knowing who Ghostface was and wanting to buy him because of Fortnite. So that was an interesting discovery. Not a lot of the kids knew Billy and Stu, but I did sell Billy and Stu Ghostface after explaining that you can remove his mask and his robe, that there was Billy or Stu underneath. Then they went to horror fans of adults, but it was just funny having the kids run in for my giant Ghostface plush there. But yes, then I realized that is why, because Fortnite. So I'm going to make some more ghost faces for all the kids, for them to have their Fortnite skins. But yeah, it was just a funny thing that I completely forgot had happened, and yeah, it was interesting. Anyway, so I sold Billy and Stu for $25 each. I sold one large dragon hatchling for $35. I sold one of my miniature killers for $10, and I sold Jason. Yeah, sold one of them for $10. I sold 2 turtles for $30 each. I sold 2 Aussie Birds for $10 each. I sold 1 Boogie Monster for $25. I sold 2 Cloud Cows for $40. They are like just my normal cows, but they're in a softer yarn. So I call them Cloud Cows. I sold my one and only Flamingo for $30. I sold a $10 Watermelon Ghost. I sold 3 Mushy Boys for $5 each. 1 medium penguin for $15. 1 large penguin for $25. 1 small Easter Bunny rabbit for $10, one Snoopy with little bows for $35, one Triceratops for $35. I sold my Jigsaw plush that I have had since I started this, so 4 years. He went to a lovely lady who bought it for a friend, so I sold him for $35. And I had a Pennywise clown rabbit that are really popular, sold as I was setting up my stall, and I sold that for $30. I also, last but not least, sold one of my bear beanies that I make for either newborn babies or for dolls, for little kids to buy for their little dolls. But yes, so I had a grandma buy that for her granddaughter for $10, which was really sweet. So all up on the Sunday, I made a profit of $695 altogether. Each market for the stall fee was $25 each. I'll write it up beside me so everyone can sort of see the breakdown, but I made $540 from the market on the Saturday, $695 from the market on the Sunday, and then taking away both stall fees, which is $50 altogether for the 2 days. I also added in, I did a custom order for a friend as well and made $180 for that. So all up together, I made $1,365 over the Easter weekend, which I'm really, really pleased about. It was a beautiful weekend, lovely weather, lovely people around, and a good time spent with family and friends. So very happy with that. And now I've got to get busy restocking because I have another market on the 26th of April. So I have about a 2-week turnaround before I'm at another market. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, it was lovely. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Okay, bye.